Mala biya kamal ka online class and wanting to jog banangi ka introduction to economy bokel ka bongten gar ka copyright akan kon ngi dan to daran chop ka email me ke whatsapp number me mete share me daran ram na ka daran la ta video me ke da chop ka me da lok gwa de banangi ka introduction to economy chapter 2 part 2 ka part 2 ban elasticity of demand banangi theory of supplies elasticity of supplies ban ka gwech ka video man elasticity of demand is a measurement of responsiveness of demand for the change in the determinant of demand. Elasticity of demand quite defined key look again tamani ta in the demand respond kaje michi joji chikel rodager katin la news demand. The most common type of elasticity of demand are the following. Elasticity of demand cha da ka gwadtine. Maniam price elasticity of demand or own price elasticity of demand. Madong cross price elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand. Kanang diok kati kwa elasticity of demand measure kake. Chana to kamaniam price elasticity of demand angulot ke. Sure have dong charge own price elasticity of demand. Chat kata chala own price. A tie in the demand rod again kajak demand ka dua rod again kajak keo she cook the rod again. By chal price elasticity of demand. Michi cook a dua rod again. Ta in bukung nas kaja namon rod again kaja. Pakul manager number kali ke in term of number ke price elasticity of demand. Ta chi kon lat ke video chi dot jok color of demand. Michi cook che ram rod. Bukung nas kana mona ba yom rod pin. Michi cook che yom rod pin bukung nas kaja namona ba rod rap. Broad kula rap kapang nindi ki ba yom rod pin kapang nindi. Ajan kwala manager elasticity of demand. Price elasticity or own price elasticity of demand. And price elasticity of demand is a measurement of the responsiveness of demand for the change in the commodity own price. Kwen measure ta in the demand rod again kaje kego chikuk kana mona rod again. Again price elasticity of demand. Michikuka dua rod again. Ta in the cognat kajan mo rod again kaje jen kwala measure ke price elasticity of demand jen kwala own price elasticity. And price elasticity of demand kwa measure kadub daro. Menyam chalja points price elasticity of demand. Madong chalja arc elasticity of demand. Kadub daro to kwa price elasticity of demand measure kake. Chana to kamenem. Point elasticity of demand. Angulot ke mecha point elasticity of demand. Is used to measure price elasticity of demand when the change in price is very small or at a point. Yen point elasticity of demand kwe measure price elasticity of demand me ta in get price roda je ke ta get ko roda ka je me kwe. So price elasticity of demand is measured as percentage change in quantity demanded resulting from percentage change in price. Ken kinyamo and price elasticity of demand da kon la no da part ka percentage change ka quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. Formula da kon use janana me go kon point price elasticity of demand. Yifi ke price elasticity para ke change of Q all over Q divided by change of P all over P. Ka kwi idong da kon godana change of Q all over change of P times P over Q. And formula me non ka nika non ka nyal ka formula me. Kwel bendi Gome EP para ke change of Q all over Q divided by change of P all over P. Ko kujamo da kon ngulel ko division rule da kon reciprocal ka change of P o P da kon gol da kon division thany da kon ger ala multiplication da P da oniel da change of P da ben pin mulono da kon gorna times ko gwa division thanya da kon la times da P da oniel da change of P da ben pin P all over change of P. Guame ko multiplication change of Q times P para que P times change of Q talmayara Q times change of P para que change of P times Q. Ko kujamo da contour da part ke change of Q amene all over ko gwa Q da kon change of P chunungton talmayara change of P times P all over Q. Jano formula mane la migor kon apply elasticity of demand by using point da kon formula da kon to use lot ke change of P in change of Q lot kan ode change of Q para ke Q 1 minus Q not para quantity demand a minute tatinta minus quantity demand a 1 jalot ke change of Q ka change of P lot kan ode inoba para ke P 1 minus P not para ko me tatinta minus ko ge tatin 1 jalot ke change of P michi kono ngajeno a formula ka price elasticity of demand a para ka change of Q all over change of P times P over Q. Then if the demand equation is given by mi joje cha demand equation cha ngunine da change of Q all over change of P da part ke slope change of Q all over change of P da part ke slope para ka minus B ka equation mai QD para ka A minus B P demand equation ke demand function ka video name minus B a slope ken kujmo change of Q all over change of P para ka slope milono para ka minus B therefore dakon formula dakon gor ka duob dongde ye P ke price elasticity para ka minus B ka gwa change of Q all over change of P dakon la minus B times price not ko get thin 1 all over Q not dakon price elasticity of demand dakon chu jagano tana ma gujba price elasticity of demand therefore they got on a minus B times P of Q minus B a slope para ka change of Q all over change of P EP price elasticity of demand EP lot price elasticity of demand minus B a slope of the demand curve a slope ka demand P a price of commodity Q a quantity demand mi cha price cha chungun cha quantity demand cha ngun cha slop cha ngun di ngu chu jakara di price elasticity of demand di chu jak kami cha price 1 cha ngun cha price 2 cha ngun cha Q1 cha ngun cha Q2 ngun d minus b good bako minus b para ke Q2 minus Q1 all about P2 minus P1 di jak dan di chu tam ko ke pio bo Q do ba dongen kwa price elasticity of demand kwa men je chwal ja arc elasticity of demand arc elasticity of demand ngulo arc elasticity measurement is used when the change in price is relatively large and arc elasticity of demand la kwa use mi joje ta in chikogro de ger ke ja midid bina use ka arc elasticity of demand but point elasticity demand mi kui ta chikogro de ger ke ja that is it measures elasticity between 2 points between 2 points. It is estimation of an average elasticity of arc. Chetko demand keepman arc between 2 points ke average come a can be the in the quantity demand or the get kaja measure by using arc. Arc elasticity measure an average elasticity of the segment AB. If the demand curve or the segment AB is linear, a linear a demand curve la shungano, then the arc elasticity will be a best estimator of the true volume of price elasticity of demand. Arc elasticity agent bia dua buguan jen ko the price elasticity the measure ke. Price elasticity of demand is determined as price elasticity of demand that on a by using arc formula. Change of Q all about change of P times P1 plus P2 all about Q2 plus Q1. A duomi da kon arc elasticity of demand measured kaje. Change of Q is equal to change in quantity demanded Q2 minus Q1. Quantity demand MA minus quantity demand A1. Yellow change of Q. Change of P change of P da kon la dona par ko para ke price 2 minus price 1 kogota minus kogota 1 p times p1 plus p2 all about p2 plus p1 k p1 plus p2 talamiyara ko amatke mi cha koge wal chungun cha koge ta metatin ta cha ngun cha quantity mane wal ngun cha quantity mane ta cha yungun di chulan ka formula example chana example me gujba. The price of sugar was 6 per kilo due to unfavorable aspect in sugar cane and increasing in the export of sugar. The price is ready to 8 per kilo. Cook sugar take a yobakel kagwazi dot job ken kujimo cha cook sugar cha rap ka kui pak ro kong cha nung ka yobadak da kon chula no P1 previous price kogewal kacho karangura esik P2 koga tyaga kacho karangu e8 shikon price long kamlara because of this price change the quantity purchasing fell from 16 million quota to 14 million quota of sugar ko joje chikuk sharo the rep the quantity demand that are yospin from 16 to 14 mulono P Q1 quantity demand 1 da kon ladan para ngura K16 quantity demand 2 da par ngura K14 la quantity demand ro jos pin ko cook charo da okay machi do ta gode di ka chulat ka formula yen change of Q lot no Q2 minus Q1 Q2 jane A14 Q1 A16 14 minus 16 chetok ra di ben ko kan denominator all over change of P a P2 minus P1 P2 ka P1 a 8 a P2 P1 a 6 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6 diye begotten times multiplication. P1 plus P2 ki P2 plus P1. P1 is 6, P2 is 8. You know because you mat. But 6 plus 8 ki 8 plus 6. Diye begotten 8 plus 6 P2 plus P1. Diye begotten all over denominator part. Q2 plus Q1. Q2 plus Q1 ki Q1 plus Q2. Diye begotten Q1 is 16, Q2 is 14. You know, 16 plus 14, K 14 plus 16. Pagamachi got a canam telling yara ko matka. 14 plus 16. That can count no. 14 minus 16. That count no minus 2. All about 8 minus 6 is 2. Me positive. Time is 8 plus 6 is 14. All about 14 plus 16 is 30. That count no pagamana. Minus 2 all about 2. No count. No count minus 1. Time is 14 all about 14 all about 30. 14 all about 30 no count 0.466 times negative 1 that count negative 0.466 corner that count janang absolute value. It price elasticity of demand is yang alaba negative kakui law of demand banajak. Ko alaba negative ni yang la yos absolute value ko bakon kun positive number. Mi ko nang absolute value mo yo da ko 0.46. News kono if the price of sugar increase or decrease by 1%, news kono michi cook sugar sharoda rap ke sharoda jospin ka 1%. Quantity demand of sugar decrease or increase by 0.466%. Quantity demand or jospin ke sharoda rap ke pang mu par ke 0.466 respectively. Lot kono michi cook sugar sharoda rap ke 1%. Bikognat ke sugar betane barora yospin ke 0.466%. Cook sugar micha yosna roda pin ke 1%. Bikognat ke sugar barora rap ke 0.4%. Note: elasticity of demand is unit free because it is ratio of percentage change. Elasticity of demand a unit free sala unit. KOD a ratio ka percentage change. Nel kana pin shada ken kunyma tala unit. Elasticity of demand is usually negative number because of the law of demand. Price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand a negative nishan kakui law of demand. Milado michi kokcharo da bikognat kanaman bar yospin kono I jaka dor ko da negative nishan. There are 5 categories of price elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand charlat ka wasngwan. Manyam if absolute volume of elasticity of demand is greater than 1. Absolute volume ka elasticity of demand which are greater than 1. Demand said to be elastic and the product is less good. Angulot ka elastic ka angulot ka product ba less product. Lot kano mikuk sharod ger ka pang matot. Be quantity demand barod ger ka pang madira lang. Ejal lot ka elastic ki be sensitive change but ten long. And the product is less product. And good amount men ku cook the rod men cook not ka rod la ger long no. Ko chi cook the rod ger ka pang matot ba shol less product. Less product ngwak to Georgie. She ka very important long akon. Changa telaka telamada jar. Ken kujamo mich cook do rod ger. Be cook not ka no man betane. Barod ger ka pang madi long. Chane banana nang. Kemon. Mich cook banana mich rod rap. Kiche yon rod pin. Bikognas ke banana beroda ger kapang medida long. Micha yodon roda pinye kogda. Bikognas ke banana bejoy bedit ko ba ka jaga no ko joy chi kogden chakwa. Micha rem roda bikognas ke je beroda yospin kapang medida long. Ken kichmo ba ka chol kel ba chol elo sere good ke wo. She very important long kanas one miji kogde roda rap donge binata ba cha ba ko jege tel mi lokana long woni ken kichmo chali je elo sere good. If 0 less than or equal to absolute volume of elasticity less than 1, demand is inelastic and the product is necessary. Ngulot ke inelastic ne ka product ngulot ke necessary. Ewana michi kok chrod ger ka pang matot. Bikognat ke jana mon brod ger ka pang medit long by chol inelastic. And the product is necessary. Necessity ka product ne ki ka ti joji la basic kanas. Metala duot data mda yar. Ken kujmo mi ko duot chorod ger. Bi kongnat ke jana mon brod ger kapang matot. Ki chorod beger. Jelot ke 0 less than or equal to. In case mi 0 me par ke elastic mi absolute volume ke elasticity mi par ke 0 la ke zongwan in me demand ba inelastic ba kushol par pack inelastic lot kano mi ci kok choro ger ka pang matot wala choro ger pang medit kongnat ke jana man chabi chak ger rode en good janek serte chet kam kan kon chat ka wal ke medicine mi ci kok wal choro ger che yon ro nial ke che yon ro pin kognat ka pagala ka kana wen choro beger be la the same ke be chat wala cha godji doctor e janda jeta gane chikok de ke rod bi jospin ike go chikok rod rap chorod bi jonial ko chikok rod rap big quantity demand by remain the same. Absolute volume of elasticity of demand me paraka 1 demand is unitary elastic by chol a unitary elastic me absolute volume ka elasticity of demand me paraka 1 by chol unitary los no entachi kok rod ger ka ja paraka ta en joje chi quantity demand rod ger ka ja by chol a unitary Median if absolute volume of elasticity of demand is called infinity or positive infinity, demand say to be perfect elastic by all a perfect elastic. Mid demands which are perfect in elastics. Grab the barbarical. Batana barbarical. Me demand me a perfect in elastic barbarical. Me a perfect elastics. We grab the horizontal. Now grab ka perfect elastic. Now grab ka perfect in elastic. CD. cross price elasticity of demand duomo dong me kwa elasticity of demand kwa je measure ke je cross elasticity of demand. Demand for a good is also affected by the change in the price of relative good. Demand ka dor la kwa ja affect ke yar ke jabo mi chiko kam dong shro de ger mi ma jen min good ke by cross price elasticity of demand. Customers also respond for the change in the price of relative good by either cutting their consumption or by increasing their consumption. Customer laka taka respond bo mi joje chiko kama dong chalo da ger. Ta laka ria kaje dong bi kugden ka jen ka kama dong mena dong baror yospin ko chiko kama dong mi chalo da rap ki dong bi kugden ka jen amon baram ro ko chiko kana mini chalo yospin. Cross price elasticity of major responsiveness of demand for the change in the relative price of relative good. And cross price elasticity of demand kwe major ta in the demand or the ger ke which kuka relative good chalo ger. Cross price elasticity of demand major the responsiveness of quantity demand of good A when there is change in the price of some other good B. Gen kwe major ta in the quantity demand ka good A the or ger ke which price of good B ko chalo ger ko kama dong mi chalo ger. Cross price elasticity of demand. The responsiveness of demand of one good to change in the price of relative good. Ta in the quantity demand ka kelda or get ke chikoka relative good chalo get either substitute or complement good. Relative good shaka da wada substitute good kanang complement good. May substitute good chikok or get ki a complement good. Ye wise. Cross elasticity of demand ka ek and wise. Para como percentage change of Q x divided by percentage change of Py. Para como para que change of Qx all about change of Py. Percentage change of Qx para que change of Qx all about Qx. Percentage change of okay. Percentage change of Qx para como para que change of Qx all over Qx. Yeah. Percentage change of Py wise. Para como para que change of Py wise all over Py wise. All over Py wise. Kajan kujamo ta da kon formula for jakaja da kon wana percentage change of Qx ko kon jaga para que change of Qx all over Qx divide by percentage change of Py divide by over lot kanu divide by percentage change of Py. Percentage change of Py para que change of Py all over Py wise. Da kon pugona da kon change of Qx all over Qx times division da kon go times change of Py all over Py da kon Py la da kon change of Py no Py all over change of Py all over change of Py. da continuing formula mana change of qx lana me all over change of py mana kana qx da kono ko tan yel change of py times py all over px yen ta jakon formula mana change of qx para ka quantity demand of x 2 minus quantity demand of x 1 ayan pero change of qx inova change of py para que py 2 minus py 1 a change of py no condition la talk good which are complement and we call that no can two good it can complement when cross elasticity will have a negative sign or inverse relationship between the two which con cross elasticity of the cross elasticity which con ko dwech which con no negative and good mo because shalom a complement good which are substitutes ngok make a substitute good cross elasticity will have a positive sign positive relationship between the two by George and cross elasticity of demand because it is all the positive partial a substitute good and good one for unrelated good cross elasticity is 0 which con cross elasticity jagano is 0 partial and relative good la George chicken mark and here ke talaka impacts can outcome con ang diok mi con la positive a complement good mi con jak la negative because shall accepted good me 0 and relative income elasticity of demand it is a measure of responsiveness of demand to change in income elasticity of demand measure responsiveness ka demand michi income shroud income elasticity of demand is equal to percentage change of quantity demand by percentage change of income is equal to change of q all over change of I times I over q kita in to con derive yen formula ko income elasticity of demand if positive the good is normal good me result ka income elasticity of demand me con la positive and good on by and normal good if negative the good is imperial good Michi kon la negative result by imperial good and good one. Normal good can imperial good chikon color. Dagden word income which order increase be normal good better demand as normal good but order increase. Income which order increase be demand as imperial good better but order decrease. Melono and normal good relationship that can income a positive. Michi kon result you con la positive and good on by and normal good. Good mich kon result jak la negative actual inferior good melon ha inferior good relationship da kan income and negative mich income rather up be inferior good better demand ka jab broad yosmin when demand is perfectly inelastic no matter by how much price change the quantity demand will not change at all certain kon jak no perfect inelastic city absolute volume ka elasticity में फर्क है 1 में फर्क है 0 absolute volume of inelastic में फर्क है 0 by chol a perfect inelastic lot kan o mi chiko chilor get ka pang mri wal pang matot kugnat ka jana monten chilor beger by chol a perfect inelastic again a demand ke for such good is vertical perfect inelastic grab the alaba verticals grab kung grab ka perfects inelastic. No matter in which prior get permanent quantity demand but remain the same. Charo bigger. Grab the bija berkan or fix it as shown. When demand is perfect elastic. Perfect elastic. May absolute volume ka elasticity may parakang positive infinity. Which are perfect elastics. A small change in price will result to zero demand of that good. Not kana Michi cook or ger kapag motor will result to zero demand of that good. Bejoy coach rod ger cook and point agent namone menchi cook the rod ger. Betel demand ka jabang ba zero betel bachak demand na bapal. Demand cube for such good is ornamental. Demand cube kajan perfect elasticity alaba horizontal. Me shikokrad ger kapag chorad ger yor ger pang tot kapag mudit. Bikugnat kajan namatar ba zero la chap cha kong ne na bapal. Theory of supplies. Topic of supplies. Supply indicate by those quantity of a product that seller or producer are willing and able to provide at different price in a given period of time, or the thing remaining unchanged. A chung to kong a chung din and supplies ka kwaktin joji and tinta seller ki tajer kanuk kada long kamakoke ka kugindanin tatin kasuk bachol a supply a kongnas kador with demand kula kugnas kador. The law of supplies and supply take what state that categorics parabas as price of a product increase, quantity supply of the product increase, and as the price decrease, quantity supply decrease. Law of supply let con one categorics parabas economic term lot kano chung to kong ga chung den all those things remain the same, you know, okay categoric parabas as price product increase michi cook dwar chalo da quantity supply of the product kungnat ka jana mane increase the kungnat better broader michi cook dwar michi roda da kungnat ka jana mane supply of the product kungnat ka jana mane better broader agent law of supply reverse true as price decrease michi cook dwar chalo da yosmin quantity supply decrease kungnat ka jana mane broad yosmin. It tells us that there is positive relationship between price and quantity supply. Let us know relationship ka kongnas ka dwar kan medan in kwala kok. Kongnas ka dwar kan men kwala kok. Kan cook de taken ka marmi sha muwakel ke mishat. Michi ka dwar chiro da kongnat ka janna man bedit. Ke be supply ka janna man betare bedit. Michi ka dwar cha yomro da pin. Kongnat ka janna man betare barada yosmin ko batal pai yella of supply no supply schedule supply keep supply function and supply allow supply lat ka jaka was diok chat ke allow demand lat ke supply schedule ke supply keep ke supply function lat ke was diok supply schedule is table as statement that state the different quantity of commodity operate for sale at different price. Supply schedule a table method me lat ke law of supply ka je lade ta in mar ka kongnas kongwane kana cook din kasuk in term of table. Individual seller supply schedule for better butters. Now a supply schedule ko cha present ke table. Chana me guj be chana jien go me fry sati. Da kon no mi jien kon ka ponya me ka sati o kon ka ponya me cook use the order pin 30 25 20 15 10 ko use ko no order pin quantity supply but but you order pin but correlationship in a positive 100 90 80 70 60 ka dob nong da kon lan na mi cook ka dot me at 30 quantity supply ka market dalang 100 mi ci cook rodo yospin ya ben ka 25 quantity supply ba da rodo yospin da ben ka 90 mi ci cook ka dot rodo yospin ya ben ka 20 quantity supply da rodo yospin da ben ka 80 cook mi ci rodo yospin ya ben ka 15 da quantity supply da rodo yospin ba 70 mi ci cook rodo yospin ya ben ka 10 quantity supply da rodo yospin da ben ka 60 mi ko no kan ka 10 awe ka 30 da kon nen ba no mi ci cook rodo rap jena ka 10 15 20 25 30 quantity supply da rodo rap da jena 60 da ben ka 100 it a lot ka relationship ka quantity supply can apply in term of table by usual a supply schedule supply curve conveys the same information as supply schedule but it shows the information graphically rather than in a table and supply curve a graphical method ke a do mi joje like relationship ka price can a quantity supply in term of graph can the same information in can information the contact table but contact ka graph by short as supply curve in this diagram the quantity of orange are measured along x-axis quantity supply chakalas ka axis and price along y-axis price chakalas ka y-axis. The supply curve slope upward as we go from the left to the right. This means as the price more is operate for sell and the reverse is true. Graph ka supply alaba upward sloping. Lot kanu mi ci ko choro da bi quantity supply baro da bo mi ko yo no pin quantity supply baro yo spin bana yen graph da alaba upward sloping ki a positive slope. Supply function la got can QS para que A plus B P a supply function a dual lat ke law of demand jabo in term of equation chat ke ta kon jaka demand lat ke law supply ke in term of equation minus B plus B me lot ke no slope lot ke slope ka supply alaba positive michi price ro da quantity supply ro da michi price ro use pin quantity supply ro use pin jena alaba positive ka jena ka jela graph alaba upward sloping alaba upward supply function the supply of a commodity can be briefly expressed in the following functional relationship that called that supply function our q is called a plus bp q is called f of p you know and quantity supply a function of price which price order up the quantity supply order up which price order use the quantity supply order use market supplies it is derived by horizontally adding the quantity supply of the product by all sellers at each price market supply kam kaje rar ka individual supplies mat kanu quantity supply ka individual tinchi ben ka market ba market supply ba kulija bi price bi chong ba quantity supply ba mat we can market supply kula form as we as market demand check kata market supply the horizontal summation of individual payment supply can be derived using the supply schedule supply curve and supply function market supplies they come market supply curve la kam ka jara ka individual market supplies curve Naman FMA supply skip, FMB supply skip, FMC supply skip, market supply skip, because kamera nika ka individual supply skip TTT ben ka market. May because ladung because quantity supply ni because kamat be price ni be kachong den 1.7, 1.7, 1.7, 1.7. Then quantity supply 5,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus is equal to 25,000 major issue con kamat because no quantity supply ka market you know ka ponya dong 3 primary 3 da con got min 3 da con quantity supply ka primary da con go da con manu 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 30,000 plus 25,000 da con 65,000 da con quantity supply ka market da con jak ka ponya man da gram da chung lang market supply kyop ino ba ka schedule market supply schedule da con kamra ba ka individual supply schedule price 5 4 3 2 1 quantity supply ka seller 1 janana quantity supply ka seller 2 kadana quantity supply ka seller 3 kogor kon quantity supply ka market supply da kon 11 ke 15 ke 8 da kon mat da kon 34 10.5 plus 13 plus 7 da kon 30.5 8 plus 11.5 plus 5.5 da kon 25 6 plus 8.5 plus 4 da kon 18.5 4 plus 6 plus 2 da kon 12 vì không muốn cái market supply cái quantity supply ka market price could remain the same go con market supplies determinant of supplies tin new supplies maniam the supply of particular product is determined by tin new supplies maniam a price of input or cost of input price of input que supply apagana shana manang ke chat mila wi kwakok winy medong bi kula kok wije dong gwadala wi kwa kok sen michi kwang ni chaw nial da supply du ka ken kwak to da ta de da ro da yospin ko da ko nang ken di cost medit michi ko kwang ni chaw yospin gwadala wi kwa kok sen da supply du ka ken kwak to da ro da rap ke wo di pai ba jak jelot ka price of input la cost in nang wak ni technology kwe supply kwe ja pagana ba let's say me take a cox la pure ka tractor dang raw supply ka ji da joj ko da dit mi ci joj ci tractor ko ci karap ci kala ci ko jok yo ngon da supply da ro rap mi ci gon ro fin en tractor ko da supply ka ji da ko la technology kwe supplies kwe ja pack mi ci technology ro rap advance of technology be supply ka ji be rap mi ci joji ci technology ci yon ro fin be supply ka ji be apex be supply ji bu ko price of relative good yere supply ba ta yet supply we yat ka supply price relative good ci kon ka da gwada do ta safety good tin kana complement good mi rew mi lallat kana mi kel ka ko ka kel chawon ni allong bis be joji de bi kognat ka jenom ba kwa bina ben ka madong mo me china ben tinane bi supply da bo ni allong bi supply ka madong mo men ci ko do ni al ba kwa ko batal ne ko demand jenta yer price of relative good ngoka je rewtin yoji ladene kel michi kel chi kugde chawanyal batal demand binade ne riet kama dong michi nade ne riet tin ko ngon demand ngon ne ku demand be joji be supply tin bedit sellers expectation of price of the product ta in char na ni cook mi char ke je no ikok baror yod ni alerun da supply wala da kwa ko ngake ko rodo yod ni alerun but mi char ke ko ja baror yod pinyirun supply wala da didlo ko ngake ko kwa run de da na ngakok wala long tax and subsidies michi tax micha yod ni al be subsidies betere ba kwa ko nas ko ngak ba joje ba kwa ko cha tax cha mi cha tax cha yosmin be ko nas ka ngak betere baro dit number of sellers in the market mi ngon neiti ko ngak neiti ko ngak mi ngon ke be supply be joje be dit mi kuiga be supply ba kwa whether yere supply bo let's say mi mi gwad titin mi koje be supply ke biye tin ngang koche la kone bedit ko ba go ne tin wan bad mi lede be supply ke ken biye to tin koy ko tin ngang koch be kwa ba nong ni biye tin da la ko tone nyantari yet weather yeti si wan ken change in supply but a change in quantity supply ta in the supply rod ger can ta dan the quantity supply rod ger a change in supply is not the same as change in quantity supply la change of supply chat can a change ka quantity supply as price cost as quantity supplies michi ko ke dilong be ngunu be na jako be kongnat ke jena mon be dit and move along the supply curve ka be budget the same supply curve but be point we can get around in change in determinant of supplies other than price which stay me sure to get determinant of supply me get price the increase or decrease in supply be no or a shift of the entire supplies me tem sure to get determinant of supply mishima price be supply get badam either be supply rap ke be yospin or a shift of the entire supply ke be supply ke be get kelu me tem sure to get determinant of supplies graph I mean use con supplies can take as a short get ben as b ko chikel or get determinant of supplies can kijamo increasing ka supply a nyot ka yakamo ka right word ship increasing no mi chi supply mi chi yon lor pin da grab da ben mi chi yon lor pin mi chi ram lor da grab da chi ben kayen ta ben mi a price chi lor da gere da supplies da gere point the supply the get a point let's say graph ka supply you know the supply the get a point from this point me rap no lot da ben gwa me me use no lot pin da ben gwa me elasticity of supply price elasticity of supplies the degree of responsiveness of supply to change in price elasticity of supplies and takon ka price elasticity of supplies, the degree of responsiveness of supply to change in price. Ata mi lado ta da supply order get ke je ke wachi price order get by price elasticity of supply. It may be defined as the percentage change in quantity supply divided by the percentage change in price. Da kon define the bona per ka percentage change ka quantity supply divided by percentage change ka price. Other case we have price elasticity of demand. Chat kata kon jaka price elasticity of demand. We can measure price elasticity of supply using point arc elasticity method. Da kon price elasticity of demand of supply but da kon measure okay point ke arcs. However, a simple and most commonly used method is point method. Do we tak in use kanazalo kim use nan a point method. The formula for measuring price elasticity of supplies generally price elasticity supplies per a percentage change in quantity supply all about percentage change in price. No, per change of Q all about change of a change of Q all about Q divided by change of P all about P. Per change of Q all about change of P times P over Q. Formula me agenda kon use me go kon price elasticity of supply. Agenda kon use Yeah, this using formula me go the price elasticity of supplies. Change of Q all over change of P times P all over Q. Like elasticity of demand, price elasticity of supply can be elastic, inelastic, unitary, elastic, perfect elastic, or perfect inelastic. Chet kata chikon jak ni elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of supply bo da elastic, da inelastic, da unitary. The supply is elastic, but supply bala no elastic. When a small change on price lead to great change in supply. Eno ba supply kuli chole elastic mi joje mi chi price ro get kapang matot kai che quantity supply che o get kapang medit by chole elastic. It is inelastic or less elastic when a great change in price induces only a slight change in supply. Mi joje change ka price may less than change ka supplies by chole great change in prime not get pang dit she quantity supply not could get pang taught by surely inelastic less elastic. If the supply is perfect inelastic, supply may perfect inelastic, it will be represented by vertical line. And supply may perfect inelastic, grab the bar present vertical line. If supply is perfect elastic, it will be represented by horizontal straight line. May a perfect elastic by present horizontal straight line. Market equilibrium. Point Jock a market equilibrium. And we look at market equilibrium. The operation of the market depends on the interaction between buyer and seller. In market, depend ka buyer kana seller. Naitin kongok kana naitin kungok lakok. An equilibrium is the condition that exists when quantity supply and quantity supply and quantity demand are equal. No quantity supplies me para kana quantity demand bala no market take equilibrium. At equilibrium, there is no tendency for the market price to change. Market price short beggar. Only in equilibrium is quantity supply equal to quantity demand. Quantity supply and quantity demand be joined bigger part equilibrium. Otherwise, shabla chol equilibrium. Chana gram me bene. Downward sloping a graph ka demand. Upward sloping a graph ka supplies. Guame Q note P note. By chole market take take a equilibrium ke market equilibrium. P node by chola a price equilibrium. Q node by chola a quantity equilibrium. What in per quantity supply can a quantity demand by chola equilibrium. Market disequilibrium. Misha market disequilibrium, lot can market chataka equilibrium. Kono either be shortage to thin ke be supply better than excess demand, medini demand ka supply but or shortage be shortage better than is a condition that exists when quantity demand excess quantity supply at the current price by be shortage but work woman me joje dini quantity demand ka quantity supply pagin good ke de cock mi dini jen ka pagin dan ko la cock be joje be shortage better than ken kujamo ba present gwame ka gram mene quantity peanut gwame ta market take equilibrium at fry one quantity supply janene quantity demand jane quantity demand din yen ka quantity supply kono be shortage but work meta excess of demand meted when quantity demand excess quantity supplies price tend to rest until equilibrium is restored mi gor ko iba market ba ko relaka mi ci joje dina quantity demand ba joje ba cook ba yonial manual ci chop ko equilibrium price at p1 quantity demand janen quantity supply janen ko gor ko ba chop ko equilibrium ba cook ba yonial me akuk yonial ba quantity demand broad jospin manual ci chop go amene then ba cook ba yonial manual chop go bi equilibrium ba ko fok meta excess demand tin ke chatik ma balat bangulen ba kok ba yonel ko quantity demand broad full yospin mano e chop equilibrium excess supply or supply is the condition that exists when quantity supply excess quantity demanded at the current price midini supply ka demand by bejoy bit supplies betul ayan midini pagin koke ka pagin kwala kok be supply better when quantity supply excess when quantity supply excess quantity demand price tend to fail until equilibrium is restored ma kwala latke mi god ko be market bo ko equilibrium mi ci joji ku din quantity supply la cook la yot ka japin manuo ca chop ko equilibrium price gome ka p1 quantity demand janene quantity supply jane kono quantity supply din yen ka quantity demand mi gor ko be market ba ko equilibrium ba ko ba yosmin mi ta ko yosmin be quantity demand batede baroda rep ko ta ko yosmin pang mene be quantity supply baroda yosmin manuo shika barum ga mene peanut kewnut manu ci quantity supply kana quantity demand shika par be market ko chop ko ka equilibrium. Thank you. Jan Sok part 2 ka chapter 2. Ren of part 2 and chapter 2 also. She loidantes bane step dong kwany ke numerical example ba baka dwek whiteboard. Liabanga manu shaka kamera. Thank you.